This is part 2 of my NFL picks for the wild card round. In part number 1, I presented my betting tips for the first 3 games of the weekend, while in this video, I will discuss the last 3. Before I do so, let me take a few minutes to recap how I did with my picks on NFL win totals before the season began. I suggested to bet 16 teams about their number of regular season wins, and those recommendations translated into an excellent 11, 2, and 3 record. You can see the picks that I shared last August. That being said, let's move on to the picks for the final 3 wildcard games for the upcoming weekend.
Here's my daddy, Professor MJ.
Voici vos papa, Professeur MJ.
Aquí está mi padre, Professor MJ.
Wildcard game number 4. The San Francisco 49ers at the Dallas Cowboys, with Dallas being established as 3-point favorites. On paper, Dallas has the better team for sure. They have the better passing offense and clearly the better passing defense as well. As for the running offense, both teams are roughly equal. The only aspect where I give an edge to the Niners is the run defense. I'm going to pick the Dallas Cowboys in this matchup, but my number one concern is how Dallas will defend the run. Since week 7, they have surrendered an average of 130 rushing yards. Other than that, I like Dallas here. Dak Prescott can certainly take advantage of a suspect San Francisco secondary, especially with great receivers like CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, and Dalton Schultz. Even Cedric Wilson showed great flashes last week. Jimmy Garoppolo is still bothered by a thumb injury. He has thrown 2 TD passes versus 4 interceptions over the past 2 games. Now facing an aggressive Dallas secondary, he is very likely to throw a couple of costly picks. Meanwhile, Dak Prescott has done well in the playoffs during his career. Despite a 1-2 record, he has performed well with 5 TDs, 2 interceptions, and a 95.7 passer rating. Both Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard will be available in the backfield, which gives Dallas a much more balanced attack. The Cowboys hold a 5-1 record ATS the last 6 times they were favorites, and 8-3 ATS following a straight-up win. They have not done well in recent years at home during the postseason, but the Niners are 2-5 ATS in their most recent 7 road playoff meetings. So my final pick goes to the Cowboys minus 3 points against the 49ers. Wildcard game number 5, the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Kansas City Chiefs, with a point spread of 12.5 in favor of KC. This is the game I hate handicapping the most this weekend. First, as a general rule, I don't like betting games with a big point spread. Secondly, it's hard to figure out the Steelers and the Chiefs. Just a few weeks ago, the Chiefs destroyed Pittsburgh by a 36-10 score, even though Travis Kelce was out. The revenge factor applies here. There is no way the Steelers will let KC embarrass them once again. However, do they have the weapons to keep this game close? Big Ben looks awful. I really like Najee Harris. He runs hard and is surprisingly shifty. But the offensive line is bad and struggles at creating holes for him. We all saw in last year's Super Bowl how the key to slowing down Mahomes was to pressure him. So the good news for the Steelers is they have TJ Watt, who is a master at getting sacks. This guy is a true beast. Pittsburgh needs him to blow up many plays during the game for the Steelers to have a chance. From a betting perspective, Pittsburgh owns a 5-2 ATS record the last 7 times they faced a team with a winning record. That's encouraging, but they are 1-4-2 ATS in the last 7 playoff games as the visiting team. In wildcard games, Kansas City is 1-4 ATS. I have very little faith in this pick. I will clearly be staying away from this game. But if I was forced to bet, I would go with the Steelers plus 12.5 points and cross my fingers that they don't get blown out. Wildcard game number 6, the Arizona Cardinals at the Los Angeles Rams, a game in which the Rams are 4-point favorites. In part number 1 of my wildcard picks, I told you how quarterbacks making their first NFL postseason start have posted an 11-31 record straight up since 2012. Kyler Murray fits that bill, so it does not bode well for Arizona based on those numbers. Matthew Stafford has participated in 3 playoff games, going 0-3 in those matches. Both QBs are prone to mistakes. Both have had a mix of awesome and ugly games. You never know which version you will get. This is essentially a neutral site game. Even if it were on the road for Arizona, they held the best road record this year, 8-1. One blemish on their season was their 0-3 record in primetime games. In the end, I will go with the Arizona Cardinals. The Rams were 1-4 ATS at home against good teams recently, while Arizona did well as road dogs. Can Los Angeles win this meeting by a margin of 5 points or more? They could, but that seems like something that has less than a 50% chance of happening. For this reason, I'm taking the Cardinals plus 4 points. We are now ready to roll for the NFL playoffs. I'm super grateful that you have decided to spend time with me by watching this video. Thank you so much, my friend, and enjoy the exciting games. Before you go, I invite you to subscribe to the only sports betting show hosted by a statistician teaching to university students. We are getting close to 20,000 subscribers, so come and join the fun to access my betting tips across many sports. I'm Professor MJ. Bye, my friend.